The stars are far away, and it's hard to get your head around them. Astrology is an ancient science. Nowadays, the science community claim astrology to be a pseudoscience. The ancients would disagree, as astrology is the fundamental philosophy of the concept of as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven. Is the mystical reality the science community have denied to be true. The subtle sensitivity have been blunted by limiting bias, modern dogma in the name of logical thinking. As much as science is forever on the forefront of explaining the mysteries of life and turning things what once was deemed supernatural into proven natural law. To disprove the planetary effects of their colossal gravities and radiation is ignorant. Gas giants are still mere speculation to modern day science, as we still don't know what they're made of. Of course, these ginormous bodies orbiting around the Earth have effect upon our physicality, as we are made up of water and minerals. The scientific world must make more of an effort to observe the natural world around us, as astrology is an observational science in its own right. The planets have been there for billions of years and will be there billions of years after. We are born and we die within their domain. It is ignorant to think they, the planets, have no effect. Yes, the signs of the zodiac are a mystery in their historical origins. Yes, we only have limited information passed down by our ancestors, who created the basis of all the world's religions, which revolve around the astrotheological. Why science discards the evidence of the planetary effects upon mankind and the physical mundane world itself? I get the impression fringe science and physicists play with the idea that the world is a simulation. To give astrology and numerology more observation would allow these theories to justify themselves as a valid science. The four elements of gas, liquid, solid and plasma are akin to the air, water, earth and fire that make the basis to the metaphysical as well as the science of modern day. They are not so different, in fact, they are the same. Astrology works on fundamental principles of how the elements support and interact with each other. The only difference is the metaphysical science of astrology allows a larger scope into the foundations, not just the physical mundane world, but the non-physical. As brain surgeons know, you can't just cut a brain open and have thoughts fly out. The non-physical part of ourselves is just that, the subtler bodies of ourselves that compartmentalize are too far-reaching for the limited bias logic of the modern-day scientists to comprehend. But maybe in time they will get a step closer in revealing these non-physical aspects, such as the dream state, with technological advancements. Every night we fall asleep to awaken the next day, a repetitive cycle of consciousness and unconscious waking, and sleeping. We travel through worlds, weaving in and out as a natural process. What material is the dream world made of? Even daydreams and thoughts in general have a physical aspect that can be recorded in the form of brainwaves and neuron activity, yet there is non-physical aspects not touched upon, such as the concept of original thought in the form of inspiration and human intervention, which then can be physicalized by brain activity, vocally expressed thought, an active creative manifestation from that non-physical place we call the mind. To give astrology a system theory analogy, I'd like to use the computer game to convey the concept metaphorically. The fingers on the controller is the non-physical mind that pushes buttons and gives commands that are sent into the game console. The game console works in formulated computer code akin to the twinkly dots you see in the sky at night. This computer code is then translated into a visual orientation upon the monitor screen as animations that are commanded by the original input, which are the fingers pressing buttons. To see astrological symbols or the physical representation of the stars in the sky in reference to the horizon points as the geocentric viewpoint we call the mundane world is a simulation created by the heavenly bodies above us within the as above so below principle, as if the game console and the monitor screen in this metaphor is turned inside out. What you perceive out of your peripheral vision of the physical world of the mundane is created by that computer code of binary and translated into a more complex visual, audital, physical experience. Similar to solipsis, like theory of relativity, our individual viewpoint within the shared secular reality around us, much like the planets revolve around the Earth from our standpoint. The world revolves around you as the observer being the center point, like the solar system revolves around the sun. The computer programming code made up of symbols that dictate commands, much like actors upon a stage, create a story by interaction with the other actors. Metaphysicists call the actors archetypes that are given specific characters to convey the complex work of art that entertain the onlooking audience. The impressions given mundanely by these archetypal characters is a science. How the individual symbols relate to each other through their positions to one another create the complexities we all experience, be it in the waking world or the dream world we travel through night and day. As atoms spin, so do the solar systems around us. These dancing spheres translate to perceived reality. Again, it is an observational science that demands a great deal of study, and like all sciences, it is built upon past observational data. The mechanics of the universe we see is mightily complex, and I question why there is not more effort put in by modern scientists to encourage understanding of how our natural world works. Instead, they discard this ancient practice as a pseudoscience, unworthy of any thought. As it is above all an occult science in the eyes of the initiates of secret societies that practice the ancient art of astrology. Much secrecy is only to keep the truth away from the common people, in the effect to keep power and control. The ancient order of stellar cults, such as the Freemasons and the Jesuits, who control the politics of the world, are stellar cults who worship the planets and the sun, moon as gods. They use the archetypal symbolism in ways that a sorcerer would do to empower themselves and disempower the masses submissively throughout time religiously. Having the knowledge and power to themselves, the empowerment that astrology can give to the population would destroy the illusion of the grand theatre the secret societies have mastered for so long. The intelligence of the common man and woman would allow more acceptance of fate itself and how the individual can gain more free will by knowing their true nature. The limitations are given to us so that secret societies have superiority. By giving astrology the scientific recognition it once had in ancient times, would it disempower the secret societies that dominate us with their black magic sorcery, allowing the intelligence of the planet to rise above the state of ignorance it is in now. That is done by popularizing the subject and to focus the scientific communities of the world to take it seriously and not to put it down as they do.